Just to respond to that, I've been teaching all my students with your tutorials and redesigning the way I teach students based on your tutorials as well. And I've been looking at Design 3 stuff as well. Really cool. And teaching other things through Unity learning games goes hand in hand with teaching Unity through Unity. Because if you teach Unity through Unity, then you can teach people how to make games that teach things. And then more people will be able to learn more things, and everything will be easy to learn. If you're interested in talking about that, we should all talk.
Cool. Perfect. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a few other tutors who are getting people to learn more effectively by reteaching what they've learned, and that seems to be quite a really effective concept. I'm going to really fail by remembering the guy's name, but a guy I was in contact recently had got all of his students to learn by themselves, but then create video tutorials to teach their peers things that they'd learned. Was that you? Yeah. Did you do that? Yeah. Well done. Cool. Awesome. Sorry, he said Ohio University, if anyone didn't hear that. Do you want to promote your URL?
Sure. Vimeo.com.
One second.
We created about 45 tutorials over a summer. You can access them for free with project files at vimeo.com, vimeo.com/gridlab, GRIDLAB.
GridLab, of course it was GridLab. Cool, thanks. I actually stole one of your students' Wrecking Ball tutorials from my site, so shoot me. Cool. Has anybody else got any questions?
Yeah, I'm lecturing at a university, and one of the things that we're struggling with there is that we both want to teach our students the tools, that is, in this case, Unity, but at the same time, we also want them to teach the academic content on a bit more abstract level. And that's really something that's causing a struggle for us, that we want to have both things, and often in one course. So both the tools teaching education, but at the same time, a lot of academic aspects also. So I was wondering if you, I don't know, Will, or one of yours could shed some light on any tips and tricks you've done in order to like integrate these two concepts?
Well, integration's a big problem. I mean, in terms of finding content that works for both, I mean, these guys are probably better attuned to answering that question. I mean, personally speaking, I've tended to kind of lean on teaching the practical elements and hope that the kind of natural cognitive process would bring out certain, elements of design. And what we found that with that approach was there was a bit of a problem, because unless people actually tested their game mechanics, a hell of a lot, they didn't really get the kind of the theoretical stuff that you were talking about simply by working on the practical. So, I mean, we've taught them in a traditional way. We've kept them separate. We've got game design seminars, paper prototyping, level design, all of those theoretical things completely separate from my own practical workshops. So at the moment, we haven't done enough integration, to be honest. But I think what Design 3 and Noesis are offering gives tutors a bit more time in terms of actually giving tools to the students to work with out of class. And I try to do that a bit with mine as well. When I said I try and make sure that this stuff is all the same as what we do in class. But I think, what I think a lot of you will hopefully agree is that we're always under pressure. We always have less and less time to teach stuff. I find that every year we've got slightly shorter time to teach the same or even better material. So I think the more resources that we can come up with to do that, the better. But I'm sorry, I don't think I've got a final answer on integrating those two things yet.
Thank you.
Cool.
Hello, I'm Scott Payne from Amherst College. I just wanted to address, we've been grappling with the same issue. We're developing games, but what we found is that the faculty were not as interested in building games because they thought that was not very educational. So what we've been doing is we've been looking for intersections from discipline's perspective where students and faculty could lend their expertise. So for instance, we're doing environmental studies, game-based simulation. We had students from a math course who were working on mathematical modeling that took a lot of data of an ecosystem and built an agent-based model that essentially functions as the brain of the ecosystem. We had students working in environmental science who were working with that data. So they were coming to the project, lending their expertise getting a lot out of it. The faculty are very excited about what we're doing now. But for them, it's not about the game per se. The games become interesting, but they're about finding ways they can integrate the development process into their course. So that's an approach that's really working quite well. And we don't have a game development program at all at our institution, but it's a strategy we've been using. So it might work for other people.
So did you find that you had to effectively prove yourself to the other departments?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's difficult in many institutions. I'm in a small liberal arts college. Game development is somewhat antithetical to what we do. So it's been an interesting process. So that's a way, if you're at an institution like that, you're trying to get game development moving in some form, that's a strategy that's worked for me.
That's good.